Hi guys! Jake and Marissa back again for more live reactions to Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Sorry that we're a little delayed this week.
My fault.
Marissa was out of town, as we said in the last video.
Trip I was out of town longer than I planned to be out of town.
Yeah, trip ended up taking a little longer than anticipated.
See, I was supposed to be gone, left Thursday, supposed to come back Sunday, right? Sunday, get everything packed up, heading home, get maybe half a mile away from where I was staying.
Yeah.
Flat tire.
And this was
you know what you can't get on a Sunday? A new tire.
This was on your car, right? Was this?
Yeah, that was on my car.
So what it was? Because I know you guys rented an RV.
We did rent an RV, and it's a very good thing we had rented an RV because, okay, first we're thinking to ourselves, all right, so if you need a tire on a Sunday, we have to go into the belly of Satan. We need to go to Walmart. So, we went to a Walmart tire center, only to be told that my car has unusually shaped tires.
They're pentagonal.
185, 55, 16 is apparently not a normal size for tires.
Yep.
So they said, we can have a new tire in by Tuesday, and we said, no.
Yeah, but that was it ended up being...
So we wound up sleeping overnight in the RV in the Walmart parking lot.
Yep.
And got a new tire Monday morning and came home.
Yeah, but even on Monday, you didn't get home until... It was like 10 or 11
o'clock. It was an 8.5 hour long drive.
Yeah, it took a while. So that's why we're now filming this on Tuesday. We were considering filming it earlier in the day, but it is
hot.
So we were waiting.
We waited for the sun to go down.
Because honestly, I guess we could have. We could have just filmed. We could have alternatively filmed it with us just lying on the floor like.
And
Victor and Monty don't make physical sense.
Earlier in the day, because I was supposed to on Monday when I came back from the whole thing. I was supposed to bring groceries to my granddad.
Yeah, and that was the other thing.
So I had to do that this morning as well.
Yeah. So those are the reasons behind the delay this week. Yeah. But I am looking forward to seeing what this new episode is.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we are home.
Yes.
Well, I am home.
I'm glad you're home.
Me and my traveling companion, who is not involved in these videos, finally got home to our hometown, and I have been here all day today. Home. I slept until stupid o'clock in the middle afternoon.
Yeah.
Then I went and did the grocery thing, and then I took a very long bath because I hadn't bathed since Thursday.
Yeah.
But now I am clean and happy and ready to watch Power Rangers.
Yes, and this is this is, I believe, a continuation from last week, because last week did end on it to be continued.
Yes, it did. You're right.
And we had the lion fire Zord thing
and
crash.
I'm just now remembering is that I intended to buzz this a little before I took a bath, so that I wouldn't wind up with little shreds all over myself.
Whoops.
That's alright. I'll do it tomorrow before my shower.
Okay. But yeah, that was episode 14, and now I guess we're getting to about not counting the holiday specials. This will be the 3/4 mark of the season, because this is going to be episode 15 of Power Rangers Ninja Steel, the Royal Rumble. Not to be confused with the Royal Rival from last week.
Or not to be confused with the Royal Rumble from the WWE.
Or the Royal Rangers from Dino Charge.
Yeah, because it was the WWF, but then they had to change it because they were sharing an acronym with the World Wildlife Foundation.
Yeah. Here we go.
I saw stars.
Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
When I was
there's your cue up point.
The Walmart.
Ooh, last time. Yeah, they feel the need to sum this up.
I had to go to the Walmart again today, because apparently that's where all my granddad's groceries come from, because the man lives on like bologna and Vienna sausages and weird things like that. And while I was there, they had Ninja Stars on clearance.
Yeah, for like $4 a piece.
$4 a pack.
$4 a pack. Yeah.
Pack comes with 3.
Yeah. But apparently, I know on Twitter a few weeks ago I saw somewhere they were selling it for like 43 cents.
Okay, we've got like cold things on the floor.
Oh yeah.
To keep us warm. And
we don't have air conditioning.
I just put my leg up against one of them. It's great to have the radiating, but that's why I flinched, because suddenly I touched something cold by accident.
Ooh, are we getting a little bit more? Oh, I guess we're continuing on it now. There we go.
He's lucky the Rangers didn't crush him.
You think I got lucky?
So it just kind of
You get lucky against me.
slipped right into the action there.
Yeah, it didn't do like an now on Power Rangers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Go down and make sure it was destroyed in the crash. Then I'll destroy the Rangers. Just for the fun of it.
How do you talk so clearly with a wrench?
With a wrench in your mouth.
But I have an upgrade for you that'll guarantee those.
Oh, he gets an
Rangers
upgrade.
will
It's
stand
not an
a chance.
upgrade.
It might be. I don't know.
She's sabotaging him.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's what she does.
She could be doing a whole number of things.
She's sketchy.
It could be an upgrade and a sabotage at the same time. We're Rangers, Ninja Steel. Even with all our might, together Ninja Steel. Give up without a fight, together Ninja Steel. Power Rangers, fear no danger. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go. Stand out for what is right, together Ninja Steel. Night and night, together Ninja Steel. Power Rangers, fear no danger. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, Ninja Steel. Go, go, Power Rangers, Ninja Steel.
Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Go, Ninja Steel. So
This week it had captions.
Yeah, I just put them on. And I had this, because we didn't even try last time.
Oh.
It was the time before that we
Oh,
complained
okay.
about them. And I'm sitting here thinking, we haven't tried them lately. And, you know, since
The ship's anti-gravity
sometimes
crystal.
people do kind of pay a little attention to what we're doing on these videos.
Yeah.
So maybe someone got clued into the fact that there were no subtitles and went, oh.
I don't know.
Because that is, I believe, actually not allowed.
Yeah.
Starblade is fully operational. Great.
Good.
And I like having the closed captions on, because then if we accidentally talk over something, I can read it.
Yeah.
Have repaired all of the weapons damaged in your battle with
Nice.
Well done!
I mean, I don't know exactly how your weaponry works. I would expect that it would just rematerialize properly the next time you summoned them, considering I'm not aware of them being stored anywhere.
I'm an idiot.
I've never seen this before.
Oh, what's this? Is that... Hello. That was interesting.
Princess Viera. What are you doing here?
Galvanax shot down my ship. I managed to crash land.
Oh, thank goodness you're okay. We never got
That's-
the chance to thank you for helping us against Trillian.
How did you get on
If you can help me get
Haley's
my
bag?
ship flying again, I think I can help you to defeat Drillion. It might be the only thing powerful enough to stop him.
Legit?
She really does have this Leia Organa thing going on. Aside from the costume. I just mean like in the face makeup hair department.
Yeah, yeah.
It's worthless now. Meaning my ship needs another source of power to
But then
fly.
eyes the under here and the very
You're the mechanical genius.
Um,
Any ideas?
bold lip gloss.
I'm not
Um,
sure we should help her at all.
What?
Nick, how could you say something like that?
Something that I was
Because
suspecting.
she's the ruler of the Lion Galaxy. It
Yeah.
was my home. Until the royal family took me and 100 others and sold us to Galvanax.
You never told me how you ended up a prisoner on the Warrior Dome.
No, because I don't like to think about it. But thanks to the likes of her, I haven't seen my parents in 20 years.
He's right.
Wow. That is...
I'm truly sorry, Nick.
That
My
is...
family can be very cruel. The fact
Rough.
is, I came here to prove that I can rule with an iron fist.
What...
But you showed me that kindness is a better way. If you'll help me, I intend to go back to the Lion Galaxy, where I'll lead everyone the Power Ranger way.
I'm very glad they gave Nick a serious backstory there.
Yeah.
That vision.
Now I really just hope you. The thing is, this is more complicated than it sounds like. Just because she's changed her ways now doesn't mean he has to forgive her.
Right, right.
And because this is children's television, I'm slightly worried they're going to go that direction.
They probably will.
But
Frankly,
there isn't
But I like that they're giving Mick meaty backstory because, let's face it.
that's the end of the Ninja Steel.
Oh wow.
But there might be enough, right?
That is...
Fine, Redbot and I will get to work.
That is an interesting development.
We've run out of Ninja Steel. Look at that! Look at that!
He's like, he's the best actor on the show.
I was gonna say, it's another really good reason they gave us that is because... Hello, Kelson! Look who gets to act!
Yes.
He's all freaking glassy. Are you kidding me, Victor?
What are you doing?
Victor, you're all buff and stuff.
Why do you have a rickshaw?
But look how buff he is, okay?
I know.
You don't get that buff riding a rickshaw, and you don't say that scrawny pulling one.
Is that rock floating in midair?
Oh, there's the other half of it.
Or at least another piece of it.
Oh.
Victor. Hey.
Oh, I see where this is going.
This is doing it.
Oh, you have no foot, sir. You have no feet.
Well,
you need to report to the emergency room immediately.
You have a foot. The problem is that your foot is presently chunky chutney.
That would... Your feet... You should each have a broken foot.
Yeah.
Completely weightless.
Not completely weightless.
Well...
No, in fact it would be less than weightless, because it's actually forcing it up. They didn't have to lift it.
Well, weightlessness is generally Wow, that is quite the upgrade there. That is a weird-looking upgrade.
Something weightless would be something which was essentially neutrally buoyant in the air.
Well, that's basically what it makes it.
But it just popped up on its own, which was weird.
Fair enough.
Also, we did not bring anything to drink, so on the next commercial break, I'm going to go get us something to drink.
Okay.
What do you want?
You should have a cast on your foot, sir. You should have a limp.
Or at the very least, an air boot.
Even a little limp. Have a limp. Be a human.
Easy does it. Shouldn't be too much longer.
But they actually did give some little hints that he was from the Lion Galaxy.
Which is why you were in college, or were you spoiled?
I suspected it, and somebody else picked up on the hints in more detail, and that clarified it in my mind.
Oh, check out his new hand.
Yeah, that was what we were talking about with the upgrade.
Oh, okay. We can get that.
That's why I said, oh, that is something of an upgrade.
What do you want to drink?
I don't care. Like, wait, hun.
What? Okay, you can have soda then.
Oh, okay. What do you want to drink?
Gatorade, it's hot!
Fair enough. You always want your Mountain Dews, I wasn't sure. But, do you remember what Fiera did last time that made us go like, what? I don't know if you remember it.
No, it's been a little while.
Last week, when she went to catch that thief, she turned into a cloak.
Right.
She can shapeshift.
She's the same species he is.
Yeah, they're both shapeshifters. Not to mention the fact that, he was spooked when he saw the thing coming from the Lion Galaxy.
Okay, wait. No, wait. Does that mean that Mick just looks like that?
I guess.
Because I was given to believe that his appearance was somewhat of a part of the species.
I don't know, maybe the males of the species look that way, but the females still look human. Or still look more human.
I mean, he's got those, like,
He's got the super eyebrow things.
I was gonna say Centauri eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm wearing plaid shorts.
But honestly, they're more like Ogier eyebrows. For anyone who reads The Wheel of Time, Ogier just have giant droopy eyebrows.
The world may be breaking again.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen The Bowl of Winds?
If anyone's seen The Bowl of Winds, somebody, get that going. We gotta stop the Dark One's touch on the world from leaving us in endless summer. If anyone reads The Wheel of Time, you'll get it. I know it's been a couple years. I just happen to right now finally be taking the time to sit down and read the last book after starting 20 years ago. Starting the series 20 years ago, not starting the book.
Because the book wasn't out 20 years ago.
Yeah. But anywho.
Jeepers.
But also I kind of noticed that when you look at Mick's hair, what does it kind of remind you of?
A lion.
Exactly.
That's why I was asking why she doesn't look like
Yeah, she should look more lion-y.
Yeah. Like him.
But I mean, I guess there is plenty of diversity within that race. And really, shape-shifting appears to be the more notable quality.
I'm gonna show you how to
So I guess if you're shapeshifters, you don't necessarily need to have uniformity of form.
Give them ring pops. Third, rock those ring pops.
But between
so apparently the way to rock your ring pop is to eat it with friends.
Yeah. But between that and finally establishing that we are nearing an end to the Ninja Steel supply, those are a pair of nice.
Yeah, he was making it seem like he didn't even think they'd have enough for the last star, but there was some left in the crucible that he was pouring from.
They have enough for at most I'd say one more star after this.
Yeah.
So they are reaching an end to their otherwise sort of seemingly,
Apparently it is non-infinite.
Yeah.
Although it appeared to be.
I mean, it was always a limited supply, but they never really took it too many attention to that. I mean, they've expressed no limitations on what Ninja Steel can really do, but the fact they have a limitation of Ninja Steel is a nice thing.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, like, the whole Ninja Steel thing.
Yeah.
We're not gonna let you touch that ship.
Oh yeah? Don't you remember what happened the last time?
Was all the Ninja Steel on Earth all the Ninja Steel that ever was, or is there another supply somewhere?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because this guy's been really obsessed with getting the Ninja Steel that's on Earth.
Yeah.
Which would seem to indicate that it's not particularly easy to find another source.
Well, as far as we know, the only source of Ninja Steel was the prism.
Yeah, and it shattered.
Well, it didn't shatter.
It's no more.
It's what they use every day. The prism, the Nexus prism, the big giant star thing in their garage.
The steel within it.
Okay, the steel covering it. Yes. That has all been scraped off. It appears at this point.
Maybe. Ooh, the Rangers stink. That's a burn.
That's a burn.
Sick burns.
Sword Star. Thank you for giving Mick backstory. Now give us a reason for Redbot.
Really, Jake, while I'm drinking?
Sorry. Ooh, hello. What'd that just do? Something just happened to her armor. It absorbed the Ninja Stars somehow. That's interesting.
Is she gonna get a Morphe look?
We'll see. Whoa. Apparently he has now received it.
Just appeared on my wrist. Is it the Zord Star? I think the prism has something else in store for you first. What do we do? Try spinning the star.
That's usually a good bet. Lion Fire Ninja Spin.
My lion fire armor. It's gone.
It's on the Red Ranger now.
Yep.
Oh, he's getting powered up.
Oh yeah!
Out of the fire and into the fight. Lion Fire Red.
And everybody's actually having to shelter themselves from the rocks.
Yep.
Impossible! Mick, it gave me Vera's Lion Fire armor. It feels invincible.
The Rangers have a fighting chance now.
Because apparently your armor changes
You
things.
truly changed. But you really are on our side.
I don't know how that proved anything, but okay.
I'm gonna guess because she was not even slightly dismayed by the fact that her armor has just been reassigned to someone else.
Also, it could.
Nonetheless, I wouldn't forgive her that quickly if I had been enslaved for 20 years because of her.
Yeah.
Woo! It's way too hot. We don't need any more hot. We have too much hot.
Yes.
Because
It's a 6-hour drive.
do you wish you'd done it now?
Only a little bit. It's 6-hour drive. It's still awful. I would need to drive down to my parents' house to get the air conditioner.
It is non-fun. I'll give you that much. But given that I just did an 8.5-hour drive, you don't have much pity.
Oh, I know. Ooh.
And an 8.5-hour drive.
There's something just really amusing about using basically your battleizer to fight a bunch of tools being shot at you from a toolbox.
Yeah, it's like, is this monster a commercial for...
Just rubbing her visor. I don't know.
You know, those tools they sell at Sears. Starts with a C. Never mind.
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Anyway, I drove 8.5 hours without any of my meds because I was there a day longer than I expected to and I ran out.
That's awful.
Frankie is innocent. People are not they appear to be.
It also just seems it like doesn't mean in any way. It's just unpleasant to drive that much.
What's the worst that can happen?
Frankie, look out!
Don't
Oh no! They're gonna dump water on the robot girl, I think, or maybe possibly.
Yes, they are going to dump water on the robot girl.
And then she's
In
going
a
to
general approximation of Carrie, it would appear.
and then she's going to murder everyone. Nickelodeon got dark. Actually, I will give them kudos for giving Mick a genuinely dark backstory.
Yeah, I haven't seen unfortunate implications like that since RPM.
It's like it was sold 100 of us into slavery, and I have not seen my family in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, ouch.
Shiny and new. Waiting for a player.
I kind of want a little bit of an expansion into that, but I'm not expecting it. But I'm glad that that's something that they are exploring.
This week's replay toy is
That is sadly one of the things that keeps happening with Ninja Steel. They keep having stuff that sounds like it'd be really interesting to explore, but then
they don't
but then we don't
expound
get
upon
to, yeah. What? That? I mean, that looks.
I don't like her eyeballs, they're scaring me.
This robotic roller pony is slightly terrifying. The LED. Why do you have LED eyes like that?
We are way beyond that technologically.
What is happening?
No, seriously.
It's blinking away your soul.
We are beyond that, technologically speaking. Have you not seen the new Furby eyes with their full color, you know,
Yeah.
animation?
Yeah.
So we don't need that. We put Wonder Woman in the Batmobile. Cool.
Sure, why not?
That's because of Flash.
They defeated Steppenwolf, I think is his name.
I don't know.
He's apparently the guy.
Ooh, Lucky
fighting.
Charms. I love Lucky Charms. I ate Lucky Charms this morning, but it was a little bit awkward because we only had about this much milk because that's how much someone was back in the refrigerator.
Hey, you had the opportunity to pick up milk. You were out there.
That was after I had breakfast.
The party is about to set sail. Let's hit it, Captain. Catch an epic wave.
You're the one who
Surf's up,
was
stopping
outside.
lovers, then get down
Yes,
to the beach.
after
New
breakfast.
Littlest Pet Shop cruise ship comes with 3 pets. Other pets each sold separately. Adults assembled
Well, also
required.
when you were on the way home.
Oh, are you?
What?
Are they?
Why are they eating off his toilet? I don't want
Oh
to know.
no, it's that. It's the same commercial we saw last time, or at
Oh,
least
with-
the same premise, where the kissy face
Yeah,
leggings make them do whatever that guy tells them to.
something like that. There we go. The fight resumes. Wow, that's a bit of a dark thing to say. We're going to give him a hand by
taking away Drillion's hand.
It's like, yeah, we're just going to take this guy's hand. You've gotten strangely blasé about actually addressing your brutality.
Jacob? His wrench has bones.
Interesting.
Well, his wrench has bone. Single bone. But it is smaller and slightly less normally shaped than the actual wrench. So it is not just the wrench glowing. It is, in fact...
It is part of his skeletal system somehow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Wow, that is... It went full on Zambato. That is pretty great. That's nice.
You threw a monkey wrench in my plans.
That was a cool finisher. I do like giant swords. Giant swords are fun.
Everybody's really psyched about this.
What? What's going on here?
Somebody's coming back.
Whose ship is that?
Yeah, that's why I said someone's coming back.
Who has a ship?
Okay, but whose shuttle is that?
What was that? Why did we show
Are we
that?
not going to address that?
Was that a stock shot thing? Why was there... What was that shuttle ship?
Make me a star.
There we go.
Bingo.
Now they got the Zord Star.
Zord Star. I'll get a jabroni here.
Lucky we had enough steel.
Thank you, Redbot, for your little bit of exposition there.
So there was enough steel for one more.
Yep,
And that's the end of the steel.
probably. Whee!
Check it out. It's a sword now. It'll be so
What?
much more powerful.
How is it... What? Nothing's changed about it. It... What? So... What?
To destroy it.
What makes it a Zord now and not a Zord before?
I was under the impression that they needed the star to control the Zord, not to make it a Zord. It is... Mechanically, I see no difference at all.
Your Zord definitions... Power Rangers is very vague with what its definition of a Zord is.
It really is.
Oh, transformation time. Is this what makes it a Zord? That was a really weird statement.
He is in the mouth of the lion.
Interesting.
Exposed.
Okay, now it's a Megazord. That's true. It was not a Megazord before.
Okay, you need to close that mouth.
Yeah, I don't know. You were inside it a moment ago.
There's no
Why?
glass cockpit or anything. There's no, no, that, I think that's just a close-up of him in the mouth.
Clinko, clinko, clinko.
Are you just mocking me now?
Also, it'll make it easier for me to spot later when it's done edit.
So strong.
Yeah, it is. Lion fire. Spin strike.
Just sitting there in the mouth.
Yep.
Fire away.
No protective awning. No, no canopy.
It's well. The thing that really makes it funny is that there is an interior cockpit that we just saw.
You keep saying that, but we never see it. It's just a close-up of him in the mouth.
No, I mean before he showed up in the mouth.
Oh.
It was how Vieira was piloting it last episode.
Oh. Well, maybe it doesn't exist anymore because it's a Megazord now.
Somehow it changes it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just him in the mouth.
Well, I know it is now. I wasn't saying that he could.
Okay, now what exactly do Victor and Monty? Because we're back at the end.
Oh, they've got a thing they're doing.
For good after all these years.
Why are you back in it?
When I return to the Lion Galaxy, I promise I will change things
I don't
for
know.
better.
I guess it just kind of will come and go.
We're gonna miss you, but we know
But
it's important.
maybe next season we'll get
Oh wait, look at the tips of her hair.
yeah. What
No
about
surprise. For me.
There is color gradation in her hair.
it? A little bit.
It's brown and red.
Message from
What?
the Lion Galaxy.
Oh, did you?
Called his parents.
Oh.
Mom? Dad?
Oh.
I can't believe it. Is it really you?
Of course it is.
You're alive. I never gave up hope that I would see you again.
Well, neither did we, son.
Oh.
We're so glad to hear that you were okay.
We can't
That's so nice.
you again.
Are you going to come home?
He has that option now, doesn't he?
I have work to finish.
Mom. Dad, I will come home, I promise, but not just yet. My friends and I have important work to finish here on Earth.
Don't apologize, my little nickel poo. Happy just to know that you're out there.
His dad does have brown and blonde gradated hair.
Yeah.
It's just not as distinct as his. But I think that's because his brown is starting to go gray.
Yeah.
But Mom looks much more human.
Aww. His parents.
I can't tell you how good it is to see their faces again.
But see, look, there's red in hers. So,
It's such an awkward hug because of the armor.
their species does have bitone hair.
But you have proven that your heart is in the right place. So thank you.
Now this would have been a better moment.
For him to actually forgive her.
Yeah.
Than
But that's like a minor gripe right now. Because that was kind of great.
And with it, the fate of the entire Lion Galaxy.
well, you think
I will
it
return
will.
home, but I will never forget you.
I'm
If you ever
a
need
little
me,
concerned that you're going to get home and they're just going to kill you.
Megazord will always be at your
I have no clue.
So Victor really thinks he can break the weightlifting record.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Victor Bennett's attempt at breaking the world weightlifting record.
Which would totally be done at a high school. And you would totally use a regular high school riser to support barbell that big.
Of course.
Because if he puts it down...
Did he just say 2 tons?
If it is successful, I will award our new champion this trophy. That will be trophy
2
number
tons?
50, Monty.
No human can lift 2,000.
No human can lift 1 ton.
Vincent.
Like, if it was like half a ton, that would still be pushing it. By a significant margin.
2 tons is roughly a car.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Preston sees it.
Piece of yours anti-gravity crystal.
We have to say something.
No, we can't. People might ask questions.
Well,
Watch.
people are going to ask questions.
At work.
Yeah, this is going to be yeah. We're going to have questions no matter what.
Okay, but if this works anywhere near the way something anti-gravity would work,
Yeah.
once he gets it moving, inertia is going to cause him a problem.
Maybe. I don't know if inertia would cause him a problem.
It's very heavy. Once he starts it moving in a given direction, if it has no actual weight to it, there's no reason for it to stop.
Well, except that it requires clearly minimal force in order to move, so it shouldn't require any force from him to stop it moving either.
This trophy is yours, Victor.
He's gonna let go and it's gonna stay there.
There you go.
Once again, I prove there's nothing Victor Vincent cannot do. Heavy. You cheated. It's not
Yep.
cheating if you deserve to win.
What does that even mean?
What's that?
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, he is...
Frelled. He's completely frelled.
Whoop. What? What?
They fell through the hole.
Do I still get to keep the trophy?
No! Now this is the second time he has been caught trying to cheat to get a trophy.
Yeah, this is true.
When are people going to
Stop offering him trophies?
I was going to say start questioning the first 49.
Fair enough. They are cartoon. Seriously, let's
That
keep-
was a classic, like, Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote hole in the stage.
That's
there.
what everything they do is inspired by, just with a weaker sense of physics.
Oh!
What?
I wondered what that was when I put my hand on it, and now I know.
I happened to just I just put
There's
down
an ice pack here, and I was like, ah, slimy! But it's just an ice pack.
Yeah.
It's cold and it's gooey.
Yeah. I just grabbed some ice packs because we have those, but we don't have AC. It's really warm today.
It's really warm.
But I would love to see it later revealed that Victor and Monty are descendants of refugees from the Lion Galaxy. Just to explain their absurd resilience. Overall, though, I will say this was probably one of Ninja Steel's best episodes thus far.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I am holding out just a teeny bit of hope, maybe, that we'll get a little bit more about Mick and the Lion Galaxy. Maybe just a little, please?
Maybe, but at the same time, they pretty much wrapped it up.
I know.
But it's really interesting. And I don't know, maybe he can continue having some phone calls with his parents now that he's established a link.
Maybe. We'll see. It depends on where they go from here. Right now we've got, 5 episodes and 2 specials left in this season before we get to next season. Mm-hmm. No clue exactly what's coming at the moment. I am curious if Super Ninja Steel will involve them finding some new form of Ninja Steel.
Yeah.
That could be a premise.
That could be
season.
the second supply thereof.
Yeah. That feels like that might be what's set up for the future. At the very least, it looks like we may be done with Arsenal upgrades for the
remainder
season.
of this season. Yeah.
I think that's it. So as far as things that have been forged, we got they had stars to begin with.
Yep.
We got now 7 Zord stars. There's the elemental stars for the swords. We got that Lion Fire armor star. And not 7 Zord stars. 10 Zords. 10 Zord stars. Is it 10? Wait. There's.
Don't ask me to math.
There's the Rumble Tusk. Well, I mean, there's the main 5. There's the Bull Rider, Lion Fire, and there's Rumble Tusk, which we barely see. There's the Astrozord. And I feel like I'm forgetting one. There's another one, right? There's the Elephant. There was the UFO.
Are you counting the Bull and Rider separately or no?
No. There was another auxiliary Zord. There weren't just 2. But now I can't remember what the other. There were more than just 2, right? Why am I blanking on this? I mean, I know there was the dragon form. Was that all it was? We got the Rumble Tusk, then we got the dragon form, and then after that we had the episode that introduced the Megamorph cycles.
I'm not very good at remembering these kind of things.
And that
especially when they're rarely used. Which I'm assuming this one that you're not able to remember must be rarely used.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, Rumble Tusk was introduced in the 5th episode, in the same episode as the Megamorph cycles. That's it. And then the 6th episode, with Haley and Redbot, I thought that introduced a new Zord, but now I can't remember which one. I know the Astrozord was the 7th episode, because that was the one that broke Levi free.
Uh-huh.
But I'm trying to remember now if there were... I am blanking, and that feels really weird right now. Like, I feel like there was a Zord introduced in the 6th episode, and I just can't remember it right now.
Baked.
It's really warm. I'm really tired for it being so warm. But the,
Yeah, it's 86 degrees. And it's several hours past sunset now. It's 86 degrees now.
It's not like it's a dry heat.
No, it's muggy.
It's very muggy. If it was 86 in a dry heat, it'd be fine. Like, I've been in, like, California in summer.
And you know why that is, right?
It's like a desert.
No, why dry heat is better.
Because you're able to expel heat more easily?
Yeah, because when it's already high moisture, your sweat doesn't evaporate, so it can't do its job.
Yeah, exactly. Kelson definitely delivered the best acting of the season.
so subtle and yet so desperately heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
You can see it like we're all right here, and then
And it's good,
here,
and it's great because we also haven't had a chance to see that kind of range out of this character yet.
And
like we've gotten to see some of Kelson's range in the past. We just haven't gotten to see that level of emotional range within this character yet.
No, there are a lot of characters where we didn't get to see it at all.
Yeah. Well, we know he has
Nord.
he has a very wide range.
Yes. We didn't get to see anything from Nord. We didn't get to see anything from because that was a puppet.
Yeah, it was all voice acting. I mean, voice acting was still good.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got to see Boom and Phineas were the two big ones where we really got to see
because
his performance. Especially Boom, because with Phineas he started to get more with the facial prosthetics, and then even more.
But Boom, he was like,
Boom was a sweetheart.
He wanted so much to be so but he messed things up, and it made him sad, and it made him anxious, and he had so much depth to him.
Yeah, it's nice to. These are the kind of stories that I do like it when Power Rangers explores, is when you take a piece of a character that we hadn't really gotten a chance to see before and get a chance to delve in it a little deeper and add that extra layer to the character. Like this actually reminds me in terms of taking a character which we hadn't gotten to see good depth, where we hadn't got to see the depth of before, and then giving them an opportunity to shine. 15th episode of Dino Charge, where we got to see Prince Philip become a Ranger. Like, that was one of Dino Charge's best episodes.
Like, he tried so many other things, but then it was when he just sort of instinctually did something that it really worked for him.
And then, of course, Coda with, getting a chance to see, taking his comedic caveman antics and putting them in a new light through the lens of basically post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, someone who has lost his entire world, basically.
Yeah. One thing I don't have that. I expect that we'll get a little bit more out of the Lion Galaxy. I don't think we'll get too much more significant backstory about Mick and his family, since it seems to get tied up pretty quick, and they don't tend to refer back to things like that.
Yeah.
However, we have opened up things a little bit more with the idea that Galvanax does collect slaves, basically.
Yeah, from around wherever the heck.
Like we
which gives us a reason that he would have taken.
That he would have taken Brody. He didn't take Levi. He took Brody. Levi was captured by Matamodius, but that suggests that it wasn't just Mick and Redbot and Brody. There may be other slaves currently on his ship, and that could make for some interesting drama down the line.
Down the line, when they're maybe we gotta shoot down his ship. We can't. There's another 120 slaves aboard.
Yeah, if we could delve into that a little bit more, maybe bring Galvanax into greater direct conflict with the Lion Galaxy. That could be great. Although, right now the way that they've played it is more so, Vera's gonna focus on, reforming her culture, not so much on,
That's not as easy as she makes it sound.
Yeah.
If the ruler comes back and goes, hey, we're gonna do things a completely different way, a lot of the times they just get overthrown or replaced by someone who will maintain the status quo.
Especially considering you brought your royal guard, who ostensibly should be your most loyal person, and they immediately turned on you as soon as it was suggested.
Yeah.
That being said, it's Power Rangers. I figure we can kind of take her words at face value for the most part. Or at the very least, it's going to keep her busy for a while. So I don't know how likely we are to see the Lion Galaxy coming back as a major force. Except maybe as an ally in the finale, sort of like when the when the other commanders show up at the end of SPD, kind of thing.
Yes.
It's like, hey, reinforcements. That I could see, and that would be, and that would still be good. That would it wouldn't be
Heck,
as
have you been the whole series?
it wouldn't be as interesting a development.
This would have
but it
been
be a
so
good
much
one.
easier if you'd all turned up earlier.
Oh, well, what are you talking about? The commanders in SPD?
Yeah.
Well, they got other jobs. They came to help because it was a major emergency. They had other outposts.
Look, if they had came to help earlier, it wouldn't have become a major emergency.
I think you're heavily overstating how much they actually helped. They just kind of joined the troops in a ground battle. They did not turn the tides of the battle by a considerable margin.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they had no effect on the giant thing that was smashing the entire city.
No effect. Sorry.
It was nice seeing them help out, but, you know, they are, it's like, well, look, okay, hon, I'm gonna, it's like when a city has a major emergency and other cities send their, rescue forces to assist.
Uh-huh.
They don't just they don't just always have their rescue forces in that other city. They usually use them to protect their cities. So, I'm not going to say, yes, these commanders should totally be at Earth.
They shouldn't be at Earth all the time. I'm just saying that if getting everyone together solved the whole problem, then they should have done that earlier.
Except it didn't.
Then they could have all gone back home.
It was just, this was last-ditch effort kind of thing.
But it worked, didn't it?
Really, it was more, hey, now that the Rangers have gotten off the ship and have their Megazord, they can now shoot the thing in its weak point while Doggy opens up the port. I mean, they helped, but they did. They helped. They you know, reduced. They helped reduce the number of Crybots attacking, but the main threat was Omni.
Yeah.
Like, it's good that they helped, but it's like, you know.
Yes.
Bulk and
yes.
Skull and the citizens can only fight off.
I am the Red Ranger.
They can only fight off the foot soldiers so many times in so many situations. They kind of need to have that desperation there. You save some stuff for the finale. It's reasonable.
Well, there are lots of shows where the plot wouldn't happen if people were efficient. Not just Power Rangers.
Well, I mean, in general, if we are like, you know, if you have 100 people get together to all build a bridge at the same time, the bridge will get immediately done. But it's like how everybody has their own lives to tend to.
In a lot of media, you look around and you realize that people did not handle this well.
Okay.
They made it take longer. Mm-hmm. They screwed it up. Mm-hmm. You know what that's called.
Which is the
idiot ball.
Okay. This is not a case of that.
Okay.
This is calling for reinforcements and you get the reinforcements. If they were there all the time, they wouldn't be the reinforcements.
It's not there all the time.
Crew.
They should have called for reinforcements earlier.
They've got Megazords. They had the situation under control. Was the city crumbling before then? No. It was the finale when the city was crumbling. Why are you arguing with me on this?
I don't know why you're still arguing. We could be talking about the show we're actually watching.
Right, so, end of story. Some things you saved for the finale, they weren't needed before then, they were needed at the end. Anywho. As far as this, the mixed stuff was good. Maybe the Lion Galaxy will come back for the finale or something, that'd be cool. If they make for other storytelling along the way, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, having that sort of backstory for Mick in their back pocket this whole time was a nice thing. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping they have other story elements in their back pockets right now.
Like maybe where Redbot came from?
Give us a reason for him.
Like, I don't know, maybe he's a gift slave from some other system besides the Lion system?
Just give us a reason. Like, seriously, you remove Redbot from the season, it doesn't actually really change anything. Give us a reason for Redbot. Why was he on the ship? Why is he necessary? What purpose does he serve within the team? Apart from suffering circuits.
Suffering. That is a perfect description of.
Like, that's what he says. That's all he really does.
Yeah.
Occasionally he'll let them know about a threat if Mick's busy with something else. But he's right now he's basically just sort of backup Mick.
Yeah.
With rocket boots.
Rocket boots.
So
We could have given Mick rocket boots and then we wouldn't need Red Bob at all.
I mean, really it could have just been like no, here's what it is, okay?
Okay.
Oh man, I didn't think about how I'm gonna land on the ground. Oh look, junk piece of jetpack. Maybe this still works. Hey, here we go. Oh, it doesn't work well enough. I'm still crashing, but at least I'm alive. And suddenly, Redbot is not even in the premiere.
Pretty much.
And you still have the separation of Brody and Mick.
Oh, yeah, the separation.
Because Mick had to still meet up with Calvin and Haley. But this one I'd say some of the major tweak or there were a few small flaws with this. One is that again we're still not leaving things open for future stories. We're just cutting them off pretty quickly.
They wrap things up too tight at the end of each episode.
Which, maybe that's their goal. I can understand that. You're trying to keep things self-contained.
More
but
episodic so that you can run them out of order if you want
But
to.
I feel like we're losing out on stuff as a result. But even beyond that, within the episode, you tied things off with Mick a little too quickly. Like the moment at the end with his parents, that was the moment to win him over. Not the prism took your armor, so
And
you're a
okay
good
with it.
person. That doesn't make her a good person. She just stood
No,
there.
I'm pretty sure it's her reaction to the prism taking the armor.
Or maybe
The fact that she was
the
chill.
prism choosing to take her armor was like a sign that she's a good person. I don't know. That was kind of.
You can take things from bad people. I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't know. It was weakly conveyed how that made her a good person.
Yeah. Very weakly.
Like what that really could have been would have been his moment of consideration. Like he was doubting her. He was going along with it anyway. Suspicious. He's like, just give that a little moment. Doesn't need to be a full change over there. That's a little moment. You can now have reluctant acceptance after that point, and then still leave the last scene the same, but it means even more because that is not just an emotional moment for him connecting to his family, but also him having that
Accepting
acceptance.
her. Yeah.
The two moments joined together, it becomes a bit stronger, and that would be a little minor criticism on that. Which, honestly, that is a structural nitpick.
Yep.
That is not a major criticism, and that's actually a nice thing about this episode.
Yeah, it doesn't have many major criticisms. A
Yeah.
lot of structural nitpicks. And that is something that stand out for this season.
Yeah.
There are a lot of episodes with a lot of bigger problems.
Yeah.
But this one, we can only really find nitpicks.
The other thing is that this was a power-up for Brody. He had no connection to the story.
Nope.
Like, and this is actually another thing where we missed out on a bit of an opportunity. And I don't like to give Red Ranger's added undue focus, but if we could have tied his character into this somehow, it would have given us greater justification for him receiving the armor, apart from just Red Ranger gets the armor, and the armor, or, hey, this red armor, Red Ranger can have it.
That's pretty much all it was.
But keep in mind, and this was something they never addressed,
Brody was also a slave?
for 10 years.
Yeah.
Brody was a slave for 10 years. Like, that could be a serious point of contention for, like, I want to know how he feels about this, apart from sympathy for Mick,
Because here's the thing.
which is nice.
Even if she wasn't responsible for his enslavement, the fact that she is a slaver in general, a former slave would be kind of sketchy about.
Right.
But the Rangers seem to be on board with her right away.
And, I mean, we also, I mean, it wasn't right away because they had the interaction in the previous episode.
A lot faster.
Yeah. The Rangers, well, they got used to her in an episode. It took
Mostly
it
it wasn't
another
even
episode.
they. Mostly it was just...
Sarah.
Yeah.
Which was another thing, and this is another bit where I'm like, I like that Sarah's getting focused. It's good to give Pink Ranger focus. But here's something that bothers me a little bit about Sarah being, the connection for Princess Fiera to the team.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing specifically about Sarah as a character that makes her a better fit for converting Princess Fiera than anyone else.
And if it had been Brody, it would have linked him getting the armor a lot better.
I don't like giving undue focus to Red Rangers. It's just something where, character-wise, it would make more sense.
And also, upgrade-wise.
Or even Haley, just because she's not had that much development thus far. But by virtue of her relationship with Calvin, she's been conveyed as the supportive partner.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also seen her previously gain empathy for Redbot. That could be using what she had learned from her interactions with Redbot as a continuation of her character.
Fair enough.
So those are two different characters that would have been, I think, a better fit for this storyline than Sarah was. Again, Sarah's fine. It's cool that...
And everybody needs some chance in the spotlight. It's
Yeah.
just this was not a particularly well-chosen spotlight for her.
And Brody's also just... He's not generally a particularly well-done character. I'm disappointed by that, largely because, Brody. But one of the big issues with Brody is his disconnection to his experiences. Is that he always seems to be this super positive, cheerful guy, despite having been a slave for 10 years. And, they make that clear. He was a slave for 10 years.
Levi seems to have more...
And even he doesn't have any effect by it. The only emotional...
Well, he has sort of a... There are ways to interpret Levi's behavior as dissociation.
A little bit.
But Brody, there's nothing. And Levi was even the one who had the worst life.
He's a borderline sort of like Stepford Smiler kind where, you're smiling.
That's what I'm saying. The Stepford Smile dissociation kind of weirdness.
I think Levi has more. Levi has a little bit more of... You could see it as Stepford Smiling.
Mm-hmm.
With Brody, it's not playing as Stepford Smiling. It's playing as that's just genuinely how he is. Until we get the melancholy things about, oh, I miss my family, and then all of a sudden sad face.
Yeah.
Rest of the time, fine, until he's missing his family. Which is this weird sort of character dissonance.
Now that you're talking about it, what that actually kind of reminds me of, and y'all are going to laugh here, but I can think of another character who is relentlessly upbeat, except for they get really sad when they think about wanting their family back.
Which is this?
Little Orphan Annie.
Little Orphan Annie.
It's a hard knock life for us.
We're horribly abused children.
This is what I'm saying. There's an analog there. Which is terrible.
And this could have been a good chance for him to gain some depth. Now, I would have liked perhaps something where he was a little bit more of a if he could have been a little bit more of a background participant in both of these episodes. Maybe you focus on Haley in the first episode, bringing her in, but still have something going on with Brody as a subplot. And then continue that subplot through this episode to give that connection for him to have the armor.
Yeah.
You have primary focus on Haley, secondary focus on Brody, primary focus on Mick, secondary focus on Brody. Creates an arc for Brody while still giving other characters a chance to shine.
And then he gets the armor because he has been having this arc.
but he had virtually
No arc.
no connection to Fiera.
He was almost negligible except for the fact that he got the armor.
Yeah, he got to get the big final fight.
You could have...
But he had no connection
You
to
could
the
have
rest
had
of the
this
story.
entire set of episodes. You could have had Brody taking a nap through all of episode 1 and most of episode 2 of this to be continued, and it wouldn't have made a difference. Because
I mean, you'd be down a ranger, but that's about it.
They didn't give him anything to do.
Yeah. In a story that he could have connected to.
Yeah.
Especially considering it's a story leading to him
getting the upgrade.
Getting the upgrade.
He deserved more focus. I mean, even if it wasn't focus, like you said, B-plot
Yeah.
focus. Still focus.
I mean,
make him matter to the story individually.
There have been other cases where Red Ranger has gotten the power-up in a focus episode where another Ranger has the focus. And it can work. And I think that's what we could have gotten here, but it only works if there is a connection to the Red Ranger happening. The example that I'm thinking of is an episode you have not seen called Facing the Past in Lost Galaxy when Leo got his armored Red Ranger powers. As you know, Karone becomes a Power Ranger in Lost Galaxy.
Yes.
She had just joined the team.
Okay.
They were encountering a monster that could drain their powers and deactivate their powers.
Okay.
She knew of a potential source to rejuvenate Leo's powers after he lost them. He was the first one down. While the others kept the monster busy, she took Leo to another galaxy where she had defeated a warrior who had mighty armor by turning him into stone when she was Astronema. And so they went to find the warrior, and after finding that the warrior was, finding the warrior, she realized she wasn't able to actually, she didn't know how to turn him back.
That's problematic.
And it ended up being a magic Karovian tears, which we've established.
If only tears could bring you back.
Apparently they do.
If only love could find a way.
But the thing is that
it's the first Pokemon movie.
They made it a redemption arc episode for Karone that worked quite well, I think. And part of that redemption arc was assisting another ranger. In this case, Leo was not the character focus, but he was the focus of that character.
Yeah. He was relevant.
Right.
Individually, not just as down a ranger.
Yeah.
He was individually relevant to the story.
Yeah. And so it was about her. She made it about her saving him rather than, and through that saving herself. Now Leo was the beneficiary, but also part of the point is that she was doing this for another person. She shouldn't be the beneficiary.
Correct.
So
she doesn't deserve to be the beneficiary after a
Yeah.
lot of the things that she did as Astronema.
there was this whole thing with a haunted skeleton. I don't know why there was a haunted skeleton. He was just there. But he actually summoned a past version of Astronema somehow. So Karone fought Astronema in that episode.
Nice.
And the way that the fight ends, Astronema grabs a weakened Leo and holds a sword to his throat, after Karone gets a hand of the Wrath Staff. And Astronema has the sword to Leo's throat, and Karone drops the Wrath Staff and surrenders. By surrendering, she defeated her past self, who then vanished after that. It's like, you would sacrifice yourself for him, you are now worthy, and she vanishes.
Nice.
Yeah. Good stuff, right?
Good stuff.
So those are...
So where's the person who wrote that, and why are they not writing for this now?
That was when Judd Lynn and Jackie Martin were in charge. I don't know if it was Judd or Jackie who wrote that episode. They pretty much wrote everything together during that time.
Jackie, where you at?
Jackie and Judd made a really good team. It's a shame they're not a team anymore. They made a very, very good team when they were working together. So that's a good example of ways that this story could have been a little bit better.
Yep. But it was still the best episode so far this season.
I'll agree on that. The closest thing we've had was probably the end of the evil Aiden arc. Just mostly by virtue of that
the
song. The
guitar and then the campfire, and I was getting goosebumps.
A bunch
and
of pieces
cried.
came together, but it was still a little clunkier.
That was the best scene.
This was
the best episode.
Yeah, that had a very good scene. This had a better character, little character arc in there, and the acting by Kelson was just very good. He's the best actor on the show.
He really is. I mean, I can see why they keep him around. They find a spot for him very frequently, and it's because
it's been a while though.
He's valuable.
Do you realize how long it's been though since Kelson's actually been
Operation Overdrive?
Yeah, that's how long it's been since he's on screen as a character. 10 years. Operation Overdrive was 10 years ago.
What's he been doing in the meantime?
Well, he has actually popped up on the show plenty of times as voice actor.
Well, fair enough.
He's voiced a lot of monsters.
If he's been, doing anything else, I would want to find it and watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's a good actor.
He's a good guy. So yeah, I'd say we like this episode. We saw opportunity. That's one of the big things, and it's one of the things that again keeps me from completely dismissing Ninja Steel. I keep seeing good ideas and finding just little things they could be doing to improve them and to build upon them. And I'm hoping that a big part of the issues that I'm seeing, and I know I'm giving it benefit of the doubt on this, is because I believe that Judd is placing more and more story responsibility on these newer writers who are still learning the craft. They're developing the skills that they need to get the show where it needs to be. They're just not there yet. Because the overall shape of the season, it's a little bare bones, but there's a skeleton there. We had, as I keep mentioning before.
Did you mean for that pun?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a little bare bones, but there's a skeleton there. There's a structure to the season which we don't always see, especially during like Megaforce and Super Megaforce, where it was just go to the next toy, go to the next bad guy, go to the next thing every time. We are seeing things get foreshadowed. We follow up on them. We are seeing it's like, okay, we have an 8 episode to start with. We're going to begin here. We're going to end here. We'll make sure that we put in little seeds along the way. We'll make sure that we foreshadow what the next arc will be. We make sure that we follow up on that. They are, when they plant a seed, they follow up on it.
Yes.
They're not being subtle with them. They are not strong continuing threads.
Nope.
But it's like, hey, remember this thing? We did plan for this. So there is some forethought.
Being heavy-handed isn't necessarily a bad thing in kids' television, though.
True.
Because it introduces children to concepts such as foreshadowing, and sometimes you have to wallop them over the head with it a little.
Yeah. There's forethought here. It's just not being quite well developed enough to really hit the points that they want. In terms of emotions and themes. They have ideas of what they want to do, but they're just not delving deep enough in them to execute them properly. Even like the wacky cartoon stuff with Victor and Monty, they have a clear idea of this is how they want to have that comedy, but they don't have a strong enough understanding of how that comedy plays in live action or in cartoons. The best example.
Yeah, I know. You went over that whole cartoon physics thing before.
Yeah, the best examples are things like the fan, the arrow. They're funny little things. Their attempts at funny little things are not actually always funny, but they are. But they're attempts at the Roadrunner Coyote style comedy without the understanding of movement that is required for it to really land.
Y'all gotta get your squash and squat.
Squash and stretch is what you're thinking of.
Yeah, squash and stretch in order.
But the thing is, you can't do that with a human, generally. So you more so need to be thinking about how things are laid out with your prop. Don't subject these people to this level of damage without any consequence.
Well, babe, if we were going by cartoon physics, they'd wind up with flat feet. They'd lift their foot up and you would see a flat foot.
Yes, and you know what? I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't do that with them this time.
Would that have satisfied you?
It would have felt a little bit more apropos to the situation, considering the way that they're doing these things. Give him a limp afterwards. Just a limp. Something that shows that there's that these are having some impact on them.
I think they're made out of the same stuff Gumby's made out of, so nothing's gonna hurt them ever.
I guess. But even beyond that, the problem with having no consequence for their physical mishaps is it weakens the other portion of the show where we are supposed to be seeing these rangers being in danger, saving people from danger. If regular I've said this before, if regular humans can take this kind of punishment, it undermines the stakes of the show that you're in.
That's interesting because I've always just kind of seen Victor and Monty's outliers. So
I mean,
unless it's Victor and Monty in trouble, it doesn't really affect my ability to believe that people are in peril.
True, but
if you put Victor and Monty in peril, I'm just gonna be like, well, they're made of rubber, so no one cares.
Yeah, but even then, it's a disconnect from the rest of the show.
It is.
It's a disconnect that we've learned to accept.
Yeah, they're from a whole different planet. They just don't count. They're not normal humans. They are rubber cartoon people who somehow are coming along for the show.
But it took us like a good 7 or 8 episodes to accept them as rubber cartoon people.
Did.
It should not take us that long to accept the basic tenets of how this universe treats its characters.
Fair enough.
If they were dealing with damage like that from the first episode, then we'd be like, okay, we see how they're going to work. It's ridiculous, but we can get used to it now. And we've just sort of eased into more and more ridiculous, horrible things happening to them. And it doesn't feel like it's just escalation. It just feels like it's getting more and more. I mean, it is a form of escalation, but it's not like a logical escalation.
It's no sort of sensible, predictable escalation.
Yeah.
It's just...
It doesn't even need to be predictable, just sensible.
Yeah.
The first thing was they fell into a garbage can or they got paint on them and then...
Okay, that's classic Bulk and Skull.
Exactly.
And then things started getting weird.
Yeah. I think the big first thing was the crazy web balloon.
Yes.
That was where it
and the farts.
Yeah, that was when it really started to go off the walls.
And we're sitting here going, is anyone going to get them down? Are they okay? Are they going to die?
Yeah. No, it's funny, because...
I don't know.
Alright, well, anyway, we've gone off on that enough, I think.
Yeah.
But this was still an enjoyable episode, thanks to Kelson Henderson. And
thank you, Kelson.
Showing that
we love you.
That past experiences can actually affect the emotional states of your characters. Keep using that. We like that. It adds consequence and stakes and emotional drama. It made for a really satisfying moment at the end of that episode where he got to see his family again. So, hopefully we'll get more.
Oh, and well cast on Mom and Papa Mick, because
they were a
really
good match.
look like they could be his family.
So hopefully next week won't be too fluffy. We'll see what happens. But until then, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you.
Me mind on fire, me soul on fire, feeling hot, hot, hot.